Okay, now I know that a lot of you came here to as well just hear about how Dr. Smith started his clinic. And just so I'd like him to just spend a quick 5 minutes, just tell people what it took, how it happened, what happened first, and the opposition that you faced. Just let them know.
Well, this story can take a book, but I'll try to do it in 5 minutes. So as I alluded, I was recruited to Oklahoma City to do cardiac anesthesia primarily, and within 2 or 3 years, I knew something was terribly wrong. The RBS had happened, the Clintons were in power, we found our physician fees plummeting, we found that the hospital fees were skyrocketing. In the old days, you go down to medical records, you'd open up the chart, and on the right side of the chart was the clinical information, and on the left side was the financial information. You could look through it. And we realized, it was Dr. Steve Lonte and I, we realized that we were not being paid, the nurses were disappearing, the great surgeons were disappearing, and we were enabling the financial bankruptcy of the patients whose care was entrusted to us. We could tell. We also saw the administrative staff at the hospitals where we worked explode. And we knew there was absolutely no way we could continue to practice in this way. We also knew there was no way we could practice the way we wanted to practice unless we owned and controlled our own facility. So on a hunting trip, the Surgery Center of Oklahoma was purchased. I had had my eye on this facility for about 5 years, and it was a horribly mismanaged facility that was in a lot of trouble. And I couldn't even find who would sell it to us. It was just a mess. So we finally bought it. And we invited only the surgeons that we wanted to invite. These were people we would let operate on us. They were good people, and we knew financially that they would carry their weight. So we launched the facility with the idea that we would never accept a dime of government money, and that we would always be honest with patients about what their financial responsibility would be. And we would also let them know, and this is our facility, and if you have a problem with the bill, that's our problem. We don't get to say, oh, no, that's St. Francis Hospital, we can't do anything. It was our facility, it was on us. So the first week we opened, the phone rang. The woman said, how much for a breast biopsy? And I thought, yeah, this is why we did this. This is great, but I had no clue what the answer was. So I put her on hold while I gathered my thoughts, and I thought, well, I'll call the general surgeon that I work with and see how much he wants. And I said, how much do you want? He said, I have no idea. And I said, well, pick a number. Aren't you tired of somebody else picking one for you? And he said, I don't know, $500. I said, great, because I thought it was kind of low, and I didn't want him to change his mind. So as an anesthesiologist, I bill for my time. That bottom line, I bill for my time. And I knew this was going to take 30 minutes. And I knew, even in our first week of operation, what a simple surgical supply pack was going to cost. And folks, it is not that much. So I was about to take her off hold, and I realized she's going to want to know what this is. She's going to want to know, is this benign or malignant? So I called a pathologist friend and said, how much to read a breast biopsy specimen? I have no idea. I said, give me a number. Don't make me assign one to you, because I will. This lady's been on hold now for 3 minutes. $28. I rounded up to 50 because he was like the best in the whole region. So I took her off hold and I said $1,900. And she said, that's interesting. The so-called non-for-profit, she didn't say that. She said the hospital down the street wanted $19,000. And I knew the numbers I was giving her were profitable. And that is still, that was 1997, that is still the price for a breast biopsy on our website today. When I put the prices online 10 years ago, They were the same as the prices as when we opened in 1997, and I've changed them 4 times, lowering them each time. So much for the spiraling cost of healthcare. We had a patient call, how much for a hernia? You know, these people are uninsured, high deductibles, HSAs, how much for a hernia? And, oh, here we go again. You know, I gotta call the surgeon. How much for a cruciate ligament reconstruction? How much for rotator cuff? How much for tonsillectomy? So I'm getting all these prices together, and a few weeks go by, and one of my staff calls and says, how much for a breast biopsy? I said, aren't you writing these down? And so that's how our list began. I'll get to the punchline here. We were busy. We really did well. All the Division I athletes came to our facility. My pediatric anesthesia practice was growing, as with my anesthesia partner. So we'd anesthetize the children of the people in town that were kind of playmakers. I mean, they were a force. They owned self-funded companies. They were people that were good to know. And we put all their children to sleep. So, and woke them up and sent them home. So we endured countless legislative attacks. Countless legislative attacks from the Republicans. They bought off by the big hospitals. Very paradoxically, it was the Democrats that saved us. They saw us as the underdog. They saw us as the anti-crony underdog, champion of the uninsured. And it was much later that the Republicans began to wave the free market flag, and it became more difficult for them to side with the hospitals, particularly when we started to get national recognition. It was very, very difficult for them. Now we have bipartisan support. Everybody loves us, and it's not always been that way. But we repelled every legislative attack, but then the hospitals and insurance carriers stumbled on one that almost killed us. So we had outgrown our facility. We built the facility, the picture of which you can see on our website. It's about 40,000 square feet. It's busy. And we moved in there in 2003. And in 2004, while the insurance commissioner looked the other way, the carriers, the health plans, began stacking deductibles. Keep in mind, no insurance company wants to work with me and doesn't currently and didn't then. So we are cheaper and we're better, and they want nothing to do with us. And the reason is the $100 aspirin story. The insurance carriers maximize their commission clawback claims repricing profit. If that aspirin is $500, they're happier. So they wanted nothing to do with cheaper and better. Patients, though, found that their paying for their care with cash was less than meeting their in-network hospital deductible. They could come see us and pay the whole darn bill, and they were financially better off. By the way, Obamacare is the best thing in the world that has ever happened to the Surgery Center of Oklahoma, because you got these $7,000, $8,000 deductibles, and these people coming in saying, well, I got Obamacare, can I just leave it in the car and just pay you because our prices are less than their deductible? It's a complete disaster. So the insurance company, so we're filing insurance claims and accepting these payments, and patients financially are better off. Well, the insurance company started to stack deductibles. And by that I mean, in order to meet your out-of-network deductible, you had to first meet your in-network deductible and then start again at 0. That almost shut our doors. No one could financially justify really coming to our center, and we almost died. That was in about 2005. And I knew we were cheaper. I knew we were better. And if the market was at work, we should have had a line out the door. And our waiting room was empty. And it was very worrisome. I had 32 employees, and I self-funded to save money. We saved $100,000 the first 2 years. So I need to go to my friends whose children I've anesthetized, who run these huge companies that are self-funded, and say, how much are you paying for a gallbladder, you fool? And beat it. And then I thought, no, I need to tell them what I will do it for. And then on a long walk one morning, my wife said, why don't you tell everybody? So I launched this website and put the prices out, and all hell broke loose. And there's a hospital across town that really is our nemesis, and they have prices online now. Very strange numbers that are exactly the same as mine. And there are a lot of asterisks at the bottom listing what is not included. My prices are completely bundled, cash out the door, all inclusive. If we were showing slides, I would put a copy of my website up. I don't know if you all have seen it, but it's a human body with these circles. It's like an avatar with these circles, and you click on a circle, and like a circle on the abdomen, and you click on it, and it will say gynecology, and you open it up, and here are all the prices. The next slide I would show you is the exact same website with different colors, but the letters, the words on the website, click here to find a price, word for word, UCLA. And UCLA didn't do that because they wanted to. They did it because we were doing the same darn thing to them that we were doing to Georgia. It is the market pressure. It's the little hatchet. It's the little engine that could, the little hatchet. And it's so one last thing, and I'll let that. So self-funded companies started buying from us. Oklahoma County is the largest county in the state of Oklahoma. They started buying from us. They have 1,100 employees. They spent $3.75 million the first year. The employees were incentivized to come to our facility by waiving all of their out-of-pocket. So we had people who you and I would agree are not highly compensated individuals tell us we had Christmas this year because we didn't have to meet our deductible for our child's tonsillectomy. An additional $750,000 completely saved out of these employees' pockets. The state of Oklahoma was approached and said, now listen, you got 187,000 lives in this self-funded group. If you did what Oklahoma County did, minimum savings of $200 million a year. And the state said no. It took 3 years, and they finally surrendered. And the program was started, and they were in it for 18 months, and then they pulled out. They played the bully card on me, and under pressure from the hospitals, and said, we need a 40% pay cut off your website fees or we cannot continue to buy from you. And I said, see ya. However, I think they're coming back.